Hello, my name is John, and in this episode I'll be reviewing and talking about Return of the Jedi, the arcade game by Atari. This came out in 1984, a year after Atari released the original Star Wars arcade game, which was a vector-style graphical game, one of my favorite arcade games of all time. This game, however, is quite a bit different. It doesn't use a vector-style graphics. It more plays like the original Zaxxon arcade by Sega, if you've played that before. It's still a really fun game. It's very, very challenging, however. This game was not ported to any other home market, console, or computer. It only was available in arcades, so not many people really know that this game was around today, possibly. So let's take a closer look at Return of the Jedi arcade game and see what you guys think. Despite this being the third Star Wars movie, this is actually only the second arcade Star Wars game to be released by Atari. First one being the original Star Wars in 1983. This one came out in 1984, a year afterwards, and it wasn't until 1985 that we saw Empire Strikes Back in the arcades. The graphics to Return of the Jedi arcade are so much different than the original Star Wars arcade game, because the original Star Wars arcade used vector-style graphics. This was linear line graphics that were really sharp at the time. In 1985, a year after this game came out, Empire Strikes Back came out, and that was even vector-style graphics, used as a conversion kit to the original Star Wars arcade. This uses what they call raster-style graphics, and the graphics kind of remind me of Zaxxon by Sega in the arcades, where you're going at kind of a weird angle. This game is really challenging. I do like the sound effects. They do a lot of good voiceovers to take voice works from the movie Return of the Jedi, and they use it in this, which I think works really well. There are 4 stages in this game. The first stage was your speeder bike. This is the second stage in the first level. Millennium Falcon you're in this Death Star trench, and you're just trying to blow up the Death Star. This gets very challenging. You gotta be careful because the enemies will tail you. You can't let them tail you too long because they will fire at you and they'll hurt you. There is no continues in this game. You have 3 lives and that's it. And then you have to, of course, go back, and it kind of gets more challenging because it's hard to see in front of you too far. So you kind of have to, it's a lot of trial and error, keep trying to do this and that. The third stage, there's another stage which you're the ATST or Chewbacca, and kind of similar to the speeder bike round. That's you're in there and you're destroying scouts and stuff. The 4th stage is the Millennium Falcon stage again. You're outside the Death Star fighting TIE fighters and all that. The game controls for Return of the Jedi arcade are very similar to the other Star Wars games. It uses a yoke controller. The game itself is hard to find. I'm actually playing this on my MAME cabinet I got at a place called Phoenix Arcade Repair. I'll put a link to their website below. And I'm playing this through MAME. And maybe that's why the controls are a little bit harder, because I'm not using the yoke control stick. But still, it's a very challenging, fun game. I enjoy it. It's too bad it wasn't ported to any other home console or computer. I wish it was. But if you ever want to check this game out, I definitely encourage you guys to check it out on MAME, or perhaps maybe you have a local arcade in your area that still has it. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you. Take care.